Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a comparison between Realme 1 and the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now these are the two most popular phones in this price segment, so let's see which one is the right pick for you. Realme 1 is sold exclusively online on Amazon.in two variants. Base variant is priced at 9,000 rupees for 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage, and the next variant is priced at 14,000 rupees for 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. There is another variant at 11,000 rupees for 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, but that's not available right now. It's available in two colors, diamond black and solar red. Redmi Note 5 Pro is sold online on Flipkart and mi.com and offline in Mi Home in two variants. Base variant is priced at 15,000 rupees for 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, and the next variant is priced at 17,000 rupees for 6GB of RAM and the same 64GB of storage. It's available in four colors, black, gold, rose gold and lake blue. So in terms of value for money, Realme 1 is definitely better because it's way cheaper, and even at 14,000 rupees, you're getting 6GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, which is way more than what the base variant of Redmi Note 5 Pro is offering. So for this comparison, I'm going to compare the 6GB RAM variant of Realme 1 with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Now with that said, let's dive into the design and build. Now both phones are worlds apart in terms of design and build. Redmi comes with a semi-metal build with a metal back panel and two plastic strips at the top and bottom. The same old boring industrial design we have been seeing for many years. Now Realme 1 on the other hand looks completely different. It has this designed pattern on the back covered by a curved fiberglass. It makes these amazing looking patterns. So in terms of design and look, you can pick the best one based on your preference. If you want something unique, looks amazing, Realme 1 is the best one. And if you want something more standard like a metal build, Redmi will be the winner. Now with that said, both phones are slippery, but comparatively, Realme 1 is less slippery. Now coming to the deciding factor, Realme 1 just weighs 155 grams while the Redmi weighs 180 grams. So if you're someone who doesn't like heavy phones, then Realme 1 is the best one for you. And if you don't mind the hefty weight, you can consider the Redmi Note 5 Pro. I'm not saying Redmi is the winner, I'm saying you can consider it. Now let's dive into the hardware section. Both phones come with all the basic sensors including compass, gyroscope, FM radio. Realme 1 is missing an LED notification light and a fingerprint scanner. OPPO wants us to use face unlock instead. Now Redmi Note 5 Pro has all the sensors along with a fingerprint scanner, LED notification light and an infrared sensor at the top. It also has face unlock just like the Redmi. Now coming to the face unlock feature, it is not reliable as a fingerprint scanner, but it is way faster on OPPO. Even in low lighting conditions, it was more faster and more consistent than Redmi. Realme has an advantage over here, but that doesn't really matter as Redmi has a fingerprint scanner. Now the fingerprint scanner on Redmi is very fast, not the fastest I've seen, but it is fast, more reliable and more secure than face unlock. Lack of a fingerprint scanner is definitely the biggest disadvantage for Realme 1. Now this is the SIM card trace of both phones, and as you can see, Realme 1 has two nano SIM slots along with a dedicated SD card slot. So even if you get the 32GB variant, you can pop in an SD card and expand the storage. While on Redmi, it has dual SIM support but has a hybrid SIM slot. So you can't use two SIMs and SD card all at once. Realme 1 also supports dual 4G along with dual VoLTE. So you can use two SIMs in 4G on Realme 1. You can even use two Geo SIMs in VoLTE. Now that's missing on the Redmi. We can only use one SIM in 4G and the other SIM will go to 3G or 2G. So guys, in the hardware department, fingerprint scanner is the biggest advantage for Redmi, while Realme 1 offers more things like a faster face unlock, dedicated SD card slot and dual 4G compatibility. So you can pick the winner in this round based on what's important for you. Now coming to the display, Realme 1 has a 6-inch IPS display with Full HD Plus resolution in the new 18:9 aspect ratio. Even the Redmi Note 5 Pro has a 5.99-inch Full HD Plus display with the new 18:9 aspect ratio covered by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass. Individually, displays on both phones are pretty good. In fact, Realme 1 is the cheapest phone to come with a Full HD Plus display with the new 18:9 aspect ratio. Now if we compare both phones, obviously display is better on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. It is slightly more brighter and has deeper blacks. But we are comparing a phone that starts at 15,000 rupees with a phone that starts at 9,000 rupees. So it's definitely not a fair comparison. Anyway, display is better on Redmi, but it is not the deciding factor. By the way, if you put both phones side by side, you can see that Realme 1 has a bigger display with smaller bezels at the top and bottom and has a smaller footprint than Redmi. So that's a slight advantage for Realme. Now coming to the camera department, I've already made a dedicated video comparing these two phones. Check that out for more information, but here's the gist. Realme 1 comes with a single 30 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture on the rear and a single 8 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture on the front. Redmi Note 5 Pro comes with a dual camera setup on the rear with a 12 megapixel primary camera and a 5 megapixel secondary camera. On the front, it has a 20 megapixel camera with f2.2 aperture. Now these are some sample shots taken using the rear camera. Now Realme 1 supports Auto HDR for the rear camera and the front facing camera, capturing speeds are fast and it produces very good results. Now Redmi doesn't have Auto HDR for the rear camera. It has it for the front camera but it doesn't give good results. In terms of camera performance, Redmi is better. But you'll be able to take better pictures only if you have some knowledge about photography, like when to use the HDR mode and when not to use it. Now if you are like me who takes pictures in auto mode, then Realme 1 will give you better results because of Auto HDR. Even the capturing speeds while taking HDR images were faster on Realme. So for rear cameras, if you want a simple camera that takes good pictures, Realme 1 is the winner. And if you're a photography enthusiast, Redmi will be better. Now coming to the front facing camera, these pictures were taken in very bad lighting conditions, but still Realme 1 did better. These are some portrait selfies. Once again, I like the pictures from Realme 1. Now these are some portrait shots taken with the rear camera. Now here, Redmi Note 5 Pro wins without any doubts. Edge detection isn't perfect on Realme 1 as it uses only a single camera. Now coming to video recording, once again Redmi wins mainly because of electronic image stabilization. Now coming to performance, Realme 1 sports a MediaTek Helio P60 processor with Mali G72 MP3 GPU. Redmi Note 5 Pro sports a Snapdragon 636 processor with Adreno 509 GPU. These are the Antutu and Geekbench scores. Purely based on raw performance, Realme 1 is better, but in actual day-to-day usage, Redmi Note 5 Pro is slightly more responsive and faster. Now coming to the memory management, it is good on Redmi Note 5 Pro if you disable memory optimization settings in developer options. Now coming to the Realme 1, as of now, June 10th, memory management is bad in the retail units. Even OPPO knows that and they are trying to fix it. So on the whole, in the performance round, it can be considered as a tie, but if you want something safer that works perfectly right now, Redmi Note 5 Pro is the winner. If you go with the Realme 1, it's a great value for money. You can even get the 6GB RAM variant, but it has the memory management issues right now and you have to wait for OPPO to fix it. So that's a little inconvenient. Now coming to the gaming performance, both phones have powerful CPU and GPU, so you won't have any major issues, so you can play all the high-end games on both phones without any issues. Now coming to heating issues, while gaming I've seen a maximum of 47 degrees on Redmi Note 5 Pro and I've seen around 48 to 50 degrees on the Realme 1. I've tested both phones in worst case conditions without fan or AC, so that's why they got that hot, but on normal room temperature, with a fan or AC in the background, your phone shouldn't get that hot. So on the whole, there is no heating issue on both phones, but if you push both phones to their limits, Realme 1 will become more hotter. Now coming to the software section, both phones run a heavily skinned version of Android. Redmi Note 5 Pro is running MIUI 9.2 based on Android 7.2. It will get the MIUI 9.5 update pretty soon. Realme 1 is running ColorOS 5.0 based on Android 8.1, same as OPPO F7. In terms of software features or software optimization, Redmi Note 5 Pro is the winner undoubtedly. It doesn't mean Realme 1 is bad. It has some software features, but Redmi offers more and they are very well implemented. If you're a developer or tech enthusiast who want to root their phone, install custom ROMs, once again Redmi Note 5 Pro is the winner as it's easy to unlock the bootloader and you'll get many custom ROMs for it. While for Realme 1, it's more like a closed end. So guys, to wrap it up, in the software department, Redmi Note 5 Pro is the winner. Now coming to the audio department, both phones have a speaker at the bottom and both phones come with a 3.5mm audio jack. Speakers are loud and clear on both phones, but the audio experience on the headset on Realme 1 is way better than Redmi Note 5 Pro. So if you listen to a lot of music and want the best audio experience in this price segment, go for the Realme 1. Now coming to the battery department, both phones come with a micro USB charging port and a 10 watts power adapter in the box. But Redmi comes with a bigger 4000 mAh battery and also supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0. Realme 1 has a smaller 3400 mAh battery and doesn't support any fast charging. So in terms of battery life, Redmi Note 5 Pro will be better. On normal usage, you get about 4 to 5 hours of screen on time on Realme 1 and 5 to 6 hours of screen on time on the Redmi Note 5 Pro. Charging time is almost the same on both phones if you use the fast charger for Redmi. So in the battery department, Redmi Note 5 Pro is definitely the winner, but because of the bigger battery, it also becomes heavy, so keep that in mind. So guys, to conclude, Realme 1 is a great value for money. you get a very unique look, phone that feels light in weight with a decently sized battery, great performance, more RAM and more storage, but it is missing a fingerprint scanner and currently has RAM management issues. Now the Redmi Note 5 Pro is a very good phone. It has performance, bigger battery, good cameras. Literally it's a very safe choice. So if you're someone who wants just a good phone, you don't want to take any risk, a safer phone, just get the Redmi Note 5 Pro. If you're someone who's tight on the budget, want more storage, more performance, more RAM, and if you're like me, someone who takes pictures in auto mode and want them to be good, then go with the RealMe 1. Now for gamers who are interested in high-end gaming, you can go with either of these phones. It doesn't matter a lot. And if you take price into consideration, RealMe 1 is a much better value for money. If you're a photography enthusiast, go with the Redmi Note 5 Pro. If you know how to take better pictures, Redmi Note 5 Pro will give you better pictures. Now if it was me or if you want my suggestion, I'll suggest you to go with the RealMe 1 6GB RAM variant. It's a great value for money. Lack of a fingerprint scanner is a slight inconvenience, but we are getting many other good things. The one thing that I really like about this phone would be the cameras. I can simply take out the phone and click a picture and it will come out right. With Redmi, I have to take it out, hold the phone steadily, maybe choose to turn on or turn off HDR mode and then take a picture. It's a little hassle, I'm just lazy to do that. So if you want my recommendation, go with the RealMe 1. Doesn't matter which variant you choose, it's an amazing value for money. About the RAM management, we don't have any other choice, we have to wait for an update to fix it. So guys, out of these two phones, which phone will you pick and why? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy either of these phones, use the link in the description, it really helps the channel. If you want me to make any specific video, tweet out to me with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and I'll try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off, have a nice day.